Well, good evening, Team Eagles. And I'm delighted to welcome you all tonight to this Team Eagles Zoom, the second of our series. And for those of you watching this who don't know us, we are Mick and Jenny Daly. Jenny is there as well, and we have been with this wonderful company now for over 27 years. That means we were right there at the very beginning with the wonderful Juice Plus product, and we've seen all of the incredible adventure that has brought us to this point in the year of 2017, almost 2018. So we've been around a long time. We're both national marketing directors, and the product Juice Plus and the business, the Juice Plus virtual franchise, have really changed our lives so much for the better. And if you're on Team Eagles, you should have heard our story, so we won't need to repeat it. But tonight, it's all about the Juice Plus product, and it's all about how we build a customer base by sharing the Juice Plus product, and a little bit, I'm sure, from Lisa on the importance of customer care. I have to find Lisa's email. Jenny was going to do this piece, and I realized I don't have. Yes, I do. Here's Lisa's email. Excellent. Because we need to know who it is who's going to train us tonight. So Lisa Caire and her husband Rob. Lisa started out in public accounting in West Texas. We love West Texas. Our two boys are Red Raiders from Texas Tech University. And then Lisa moved to Dallas, where she began a career in mortgage banking industry. She knows a bit about finance, this girl, and subsequently met and married her husband Rob, and I promise you, they make a great couple. You might think Mick and Jenny are pretty cool, but Rob and Lisa and Rob are way cooler. She eventually retired to become a stay-at-home mom to their two children, Jason and Jenna. And in 2003, that's 14 years ago, she was introduced to Juice Plus and to the impact that nutrition and lifestyle play in our overall health. Little did Lisa know at the time, but she found her calling with the Juice Plus products and the Juice Plus business. The more she learned, the more she felt compelled to share with others, and Rob felt the same. That doesn't always happen, so we're really glad that Rob saw the light as well. Together, they spent a year studying nutrition with the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and now spend their time inspiring healthy living and partnering with others to provide support in their journey to better health, one simple change at a time. Lisa is proud to say that both she and Rob are in better shape now in their 50s. They don't look that old, especially as Superman and Wonder Woman, if you saw the photo. But they're better shape now in their 50s than they were in their 30s. But the best gift of all is that their now grown children understand the relationship between lifestyle and health. And that is so, so true. But you know what? Before I hand over to Lisa, I do want to show you this. You see, Jenny knows how to start these Zooms, and I am so much a klutz. I get things out of order. But I do want to highlight the leaderboard for our contest just after less than a week in November. You see some very familiar names there, some less than familiar names, but let me highlight Darlene has been promoted to sales coordinator, and that because the person she sponsors, Serena Mercado, completed her HLP. So congrats to both of them. And I realize I should have given Darlene another 100 points for her promotion. Yeah. Okay, here's my excuse. My brain is a bit fuzzy. Would you like to guess why? I'm shredding. I'm on the shred. No caffeine, none of the good stuff. Oh, I'm missing it. So, congratulations, Darlene. Congratulations, Serena. Darlene should be leading the contest with 240 points. I will fix that as soon as this is over. But let me hand over now to Lisa. Lisa, over to you.
Okay. And I was going to, so I've got basically building your customer base and keeping your customers. And I was going to do a PowerPoint like a good old financial person does, go to spreadsheets and PowerPoints. And I realized, it's already done out there. There's no sense recreating the wheel. So instead of that, I am going to share my screen and walk through all of the resources and tools that we have available to us on Mission Driven Model. So I will pull that up. There we go. Can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay. And so basically where I'm going to focus are these two bars, the building your customer base and then the best customer experience. And so on how to share Juice Plus and get customers, they've done, I'm always amazed because they're always making changes and adding stuff to it. But by going to your memory jogger, they give you the who do I talk to. So if you get stuck trying to figure it out, I looked at my customer base and it pretty much falls into all of the categories. I've got them from church. I've got them from work. I've got them from, when the kids were in school and growing up. I've got some that have reached out to me from elementary school just based on Facebook posts. So this is just a good tool to use if you kind of feel like you've exhausted every, your warm market and it's like, I don't know who else to talk to. This will kind of help open those options up. And then this training, obviously, we're not going to do it here since it's 16 minutes. I'm going to try to keep this to 20 minutes, but it's a very good training by Kathy Crockett and Terry Luongo. And one key thing that she says is just as far as, from main stage, we're hearing it's all about the relationships. They're not something, they're everything. And the key to that is authenticity. And she said, the key phrase to use when you're talking to people is, I thought of you because, and that brings the authenticity to the conversation. Also on here, Jake and Jenna Rude we've talked, I know Nicole did the training on Trello. Well, Jake and Jenna Rude, this is kind of their way of tracking for follow-up. And so they kind of put it in an Excel spreadsheet and did like a red light, green light, and it's kind of your acquaintances, your casual friends, and your close friends. So it's kind of just similar to the Trello. It's just a different way of doing it. And then I learned a couple weeks ago about one called Less Annoying CRM.com. I don't know. Have you seen that, Mick?
No, I haven't.
So it's very cool. It's people in Colorado came up, they kind of researched it and stuff. So I have not done a lot of work on it, but it looks really, really simple to use. So anyway, I'll keep you posted. But right now, I still do the spiral notebook. I'm very old school. So then after you figure out who you're going to talk to, it's what do I say? So this is, they've put out there how to develop your product story. If you've got new people that are, like, I don't know what to do. This just has everything that you can use to work with. There's the build relationships and genuinely be interested. Be a great listener and ask clarifying questions. If you don't know what those are, here's, kind of what to use as a guideline. And then we're all out there getting exposed to the same thing, which is why it's great to, find support from your sidelines to realize you're not out there alone and we're all getting all kinds of excuses. And I was fortunate, Loretta Koth, when she first started doing this objection, she came to Dallas. I got to hear her live, but now all you have to do is just click and you can hear the call. And she's also been generous enough to put the hand out. So it gives all of the different excuses and kind of, different things you can use to respond to them. So if you're, stuck with verbiage, come here and that will help you get past that. Then also, as far as when you start the conversation, what you hope for is that they'll ask you what you do at some point. And if they don't, you might want to move on to the next person just because they're not interested in anything else. So, but if you get stuck, I know when you first start and if you've got reservations about it, you can come here and it gives you a lot of verbiage that you can say, you know, here's what I do. And you can pick what you're more comfortable, you know, most comfortable with and use that. So they really have gone to a lot of trouble to give us lots of verbiage and things that we can tailor to what we're comfortable saying. How do I reach out? Number one, social media. For me, that is my biggest tool. I mean, I do Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and not so much on Twitter, but a lot of, I'm trying to get more into Instagram and using the messaging on that. But a lot of it is Facebook posts and private messages. And I call people, but a lot of times they'll text back. People are just so tight on time. They don't really want to talk. They just want the information. So I've got long texts and, you know, at least there's a conversation going on. On this video is a 24 Club NMD out of, I think she's probably out of Canada. Is Janelle Erickson. But anyway, it's a really good 20-minute little video training on the do's and don'ts and helpful tips and tricks for posts. Phone calls, personalized message blitzing is just, you know, texting. You can go to that and it gives you a 40-minute training on how that works and all the tips. And then if you're concerned about verbiage, once again, it gives you verbiage samples, examples that you can use. So like we've got an event next Tuesday, so I can do a text blitz to do promotion and reach out to people to build for that event. But you can do all kinds of, you know, you just find a focus and then just do a concentrated text blitz for that. And then just the last thing is just talk to people. I mean, I've got customers that I met on the plane, just, you know, that you hit it off with and they just sort of come out. So it's just be aware when you're out and about, kind of what people have going on and whether or not you can meet a need. How do I share information? So once you have identified who you're going to talk to and you've talked to them, and then, you know, ask permission if you can send a video. You can go and, and go here. It's got just the different videos, and it's got a quick link from here to go to all the product videos. So you can choose, you know, depending on who you're talking to, what fits the best. It's got the most popular will pull up all the videos that people tend to use more often, and you can just use that SafeTube link and text it to your prospect. Let's see. Then the last thing, which, well, three-way connection, I'm going to skip that because I know Rachel's training on that at the end of the month, so I'm not going to take away her training. But that's another way. And then also the new healthylivingrevolution.com website I use all the time to give value to people, and it kind of is just a way to open the door for the conversation. And like Brianna showed us last week, if you go down to the bottom and you go to the resource center, and again, that revolution is the password, then you get to all the tools. So I'm going to skip, but they've added the launch call script. They've added a lot, but I'm going to go down to past the videos. There's so much out here, but to all the images that you can use for posts. And also they've given you invites that you can use and create like invites from this as well, all the Healthy Living Revolution. And then more images. So that's just another great place to get, I mean, and they add to them all the time, so you do not have to create your own content. And then lastly, the fortunes in the follow-up, and just tells you 3 questions to ask and gives you that information. And I skipped on events. I didn't scroll down far enough. So we did the Facebook events and what was available there, the Healthy Living Revolution. And this is where on the images, this one is a training on Photify. I use Canva to come up with mine. I know there's all different kinds that you can use, but you can get the invites from the Healthy Living Revolution, or they've even here given you invites where it's given the sample that they've used, but they've given you the templates. So you can just upload those and use those. So they've even added, they've updated because they've added the Freedom Revolution, What If. So there's always new stuff going in. And then how to invite to events. They've got a training here. They've got several trainings, and then event verbiage for inviting. Again, the follow-up. And here's sample presentations. So you can actually come here if you've got, like if you're doing Tower Gardens with a school, you don't even have to come up with the presentation. You can go here and they've got the PowerPoint ready to go for you. So it's just what we've used before. And they've got it for Healthy Living Revolution, Tower Garden, Shred 10, and then the new business book as well. And web walks are another thing. I know they've been around for a while, but if if you've got a new rep and they're not comfortable doing anything, have them do a web walk, and they've got training here for that as well. So that's kind of building and where you get your customers, what you do, and then creating the best customer experience is customer care. So you can come here, it'll pretty much tell you, it's important when they start to find out why they're starting, because they kind of tend to forget why they started once they get down and it's like a week into it, I don't feel anything. And it's just to really spend that first 4 months educating them on food and lifestyle, and they didn't get there overnight. It took a long time. So we're working with them to change habits, and it's not a prescription drug, it's food. So the customer profile is really helpful for that. And then it just walks through, thank them when they order, check in with them after 10 days to make sure they got their product. And then it also is important, because I've had customers where I've told them before they get their product how to take it. And it's just really good to reinforce, because, I mean, the math's got to work when it's time for that next shipment to go. And a lot of times you find out they didn't get it. So it's really good to confirm early on that they understand how to take it and that that's what they're doing. And then just check-ins at 30 days. It tells you exactly what to do. And then sample text. So if I've got somebody that's really having a hard time getting into the routine, I've got some on my phone too. These, have you had your Juice Plus today? There's e-cards on Virtual Office that you can use to send that way, or you can just do a quick text with an image. And then check in at day 60, invite to events, do the Juice Plus experience survey at that point, which is just kind of like what we used to do for Children's Health Study too, just kind of what they've noticed to make them aware, because a lot of times they don't give Juice Plus the credit for what they've got going on. And and then to let them know that their next shipment is coming, so that just like the have you had your Juice Plus today, there's images for the next shipment. That is the one major thing I do, and I stress with everybody, is to, and it's not as crucial now with the customer access. I mean, I've got customers that will go in and take care of their own orders, but I kind of always panic when I see, oh, so-and-so's shipment went out. And it's like, oh, no, I didn't call them, but it's because they went in and did it themselves. It's an adjustment, but I just always like to make sure that they're ready, because, the number one reason or at the top is just people quit because they get overstocked and overwhelmed. And it's just so easy to make that change. That's just one thing that I've always done. And, I end up delaying them. I mean, it's more work sometimes on me because they're not in the habit, but if I can do that till they get used to it, then I've got a customer for life. This is really good if somebody wants to cancel. Is great verbiage, just those few questions to ask. I had somebody that I've never met, but we've communicated on Facebook, and she was a customer and wanted to cancel, and I asked these and had a great conversation finding out why. And it was a temporary cancel. She's like, I'll be back. So anyway, it was just a really good way to find out more as opposed to just canceling. Other ideas are just appreciation when they take their second and third box. I've done like a fruit, Carrie and David or whatever, sometimes at Christmas for my long-standing customers. You can do gift cards. And then the other thing is mailing postcards. The first 4 months, they have these available on Juice Plus promotions. But this even, gives you the verbiage you can write on the 4 different postcards. And then I did this at Valentine's. I used this sample, of the I Choose You, and sent Juice Plus chewables. And this year I actually put the information because it was right when we were rolling out Healthy Living Revolution. So I just kind of gave them an update with what was going on with that too. And then there's just more images. So images everywhere to use. And that's pretty much it. The rest of this is just, and it's the same way up here. All of the ones underneath, you can link to them from here. But if you want to just quick link and go straight to whatever you're looking for, you can get to it from here. So I ran through it pretty quick, but that's kind of pretty much covers what I do, customer care, and, how I go about telling people or talking to people about the business and the product.
Okay, can you stop screen share, Lisa?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. That was a great guided tour of Healthy Living Revolution. Fantastic. So you've been with us for 14 years. Things have changed. None of this was around back then, right?
No, I got the big owner's manual when I signed up.
Yeah, you did. And we had CDs and we had DVDs, I think.
Yep.
We had DVDs very long at that point. But what would you say, how has your approach changed, do you think, since, between then and now with all these tools? Because fundamentally, we still have the same job. Our job is to be out there with our antenna up when the door opens to introduce Juice Plus into a conversation in a really, I think it's important that it be in a comfortable way, a non-salesy, a non-pushy way. So that still holds, right?
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah. I mean, for me, it's been, used to it was a lot more email, one-on-one. I mean, it's gotten easier to get the information to people. I'd say the one thing that's can be overwhelming to a new person is there are so many resources that it's just like,
mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, it's not a big deal because I've watched them come around. But for somebody new, you've really got to pick and choose which websites to send them to. And so that's why, I really wanted to stick with mission-driven model, because, the companies put the link on virtual office. So it's kind of company supported in that. And they've done a great, it's got pretty much what you need when you're starting out to know what to do. So I will say the one thing I really, really like on Healthy Living Revolution is just the piece about giving value. And now they've got the new fitness videos and, the cookbooks to where you can get people to realize you're more about lifestyle than just a product. Juice Plus by itself is not going to do it. It was our first simple change, and that's all we did. And we did it for the kids. And then we ended up feeling better. And the more we learned, I was one of those customers that did go to all the events, and Rachel didn't have to force me to do it. So I wanted to learn. So you really just, you look for the people that want to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let me unmute and ask anybody to ask Lisa any question that they would like to.
I have a question. So Lisa, you said that it was linked on our virtual office. Where is it linked on our virtual office?
So if you go into virtual office at the very top, it'll say mission driven model.
And it links to that website?
It's got a lot of that website in it.
Okay.
I don't know that it's real-time current, which is why I go to the actual website.
Yeah, because I'm in there and it doesn't look the same. I see that it has the same, like the model, the steps, but I think I was like, is there a way to get there? Because I couldn't find it. So
I think it's kind of like, and I don't know, this will date me, Nick. It's kind of like the mainframe versus the PC.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
So Lisa, that's where you, just starting out, like you say, that it's very overwhelming for a Healthy Living Revolution, and we have several websites, and so mission driven model is what you work with them most in showing them the steps.
Yeah, so it's going to be, and they kind of did this.
You know this.
I was curious at conference because
the bigger ball
ones that they talked about.
Gigi.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh. Hey, last night you had the bigger ball.
I don't know who that is, but we need to mute them, don't we? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So I'll do Team Eagles, mission driven model, work with them on their virtual office, and then Healthy Living Revolution. So those are kind of the key ones. I used to do more than that, but it just was too much. So a mission driven model, when you guys go to the get started and it's got the point chart and kind of exactly, it's just very simple and basic. And that's just look at this tab.
Mm-hmm.
Our philosophy is a little bit different. We believe that teameagles.net, I designed teameagles.net to carry a person all the way through to completing their 2,000 plus. And I think the simplicity of that is what a new person needs. For me, the mission-driven model is wonderful. Once someone gets to that point and they're focused on getting a qualified business and moving on towards sales coordinator, for me personally, I think the mission-driven model is almost as overwhelming as teamjp.net, my other website. So to try and simplify it for new people, that I think is a pretty high priority.
Nick, do you have some of the images? Because I find, I don't know, I find that I text people more than call them. So I use a lot of images, and I just signed up Lisa. So I just sent her probably 10, 15 of my favorite images, just texted them to her directly, just because I have them and that's what I use all the time. But is there any images on teameagles.net?
Not like mission-driven model, no, but that's the role of the more experienced upline, which is you.
Okay.
To simplify it for the relatively new person or the brand new person, give them a few images that they can use. If they want more, give them more. But, avoiding some people won't be overwhelmed at all because the younger generation, they're really into this kind of stuff. And a lot of younger people go, wow, look at this. This is fantastic. That wouldn't be my response. I'd be so overwhelmed. But no, it's so important and we had a great training at conference on the role of the sponsor. The sponsor is so important in getting a new person off to a good start.
I'll be training on that next week.
That is wonderful, Nicole. Thank you. That was a great lead-in, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I think all this is a good example of, so many old cliches that we have in this business. Pick and choose what you can use, whatever works for you. I think the fortune is in the follow-up as well. That's something that Lisa stressed. And of course, there are many others. So Lisa, thank you so much. Wonderful job. We really appreciate your contribution there. Again, congratulations to Darlene on making her promotion to sales coordinator. Way to go, Darlene. And yes, Nicole, we look forward to hearing from you next Monday evening, same time, same place, when you are going to be training on sponsoring new reps and building a team. So thank you so much. Lovely to see you all. Until next week, take care. God bless. Good night.
Good night, everybody.